Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Zahra Nabilah Maulani, and you can call me Zahra. I'm from Bangkalan, Madura, and now I stay in dormitory Ummu Salama. I was born in Sidoarjo, May 6, 2004, and I was school at Senior High School 2 Bangkalan, and I have graduated on 2021. I'm the first child, so I have one young brother and one young sister. So now I want to tell you about my reason, and the title is Global Warming. Earth is a habitat and a place to live for various living things that exist on Earth world, including humans. However, the Earth is getting hotter day by day due to warming global. The greenhouse effect is a condition in which the temperature of an object the surface of sky, such as planets and stars, increase drastically. This temperature rise caused by a change in the conditions of composition and state of atmosphere that surrounds the celestial body. Actually, the use of the term greenhouse effect adapted from farmers in Europe and American countries because the Earth's warming mechanism is the same as what happens in the greenhouse used for plantations in the country. Usually, the farmers use the greenhouse in winter. Plant what is planted in a greenhouse will stay alive and doesn't freeze to death by the influence of the season's cold, because the glass will block the temperature in and reflect back out. This leads to frequent misunderstandings that the greenhouse effect is caused by glass house. Global warming is one of the main environmental issues facing the world today. Global warming, or what has been called the greenhouse effect, refers to an average increase in the Earth's temperature, which in turn causes changes of climate. The greenhouse effect is the result from a three-step process. The first, sunlight radiates from the sun through space to Earth's atmosphere. The second, the sunlight enters the atmosphere and hits Earth. Some of it turns into heat energy in the form of infrared light. The heat is absorbed by surrounding air and land, which in turn make it warm. And the third, infrared rays, which are emitted into the atmosphere, are trapped by greenhouse gases. The gas absorbs the light and emitted back to the Earth's surface and warms it even more. Greenhouse gases primarily carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Global warming caused by greenhouse effect, feedback effect, and solar cycle variations. Global warming caused by climate changes and extreme weather events, rising sea levels, increasing of precipitation are likely to have detrimental effects on human health that accompany malnutrition. In greenhouse used in cultivation, especially in countries who experience winter or plant experience in biology and in agriculture, solar energy that enters through the glass roof is partly reflected out of the atmosphere, and some is trapped in the greenhouse, thereby increasing the temperature inside. Another example that can illustrate the occurrence of the greenhouse effect is when we was in a car with the windows closed parked in the hot sun. The heat that enters through the windshield is partly reflected back to the outside through the glass, but some are trapped in the car compartment. As a result, the temperature inside the room is higher than outside. The greenhouse effect is needed by all living things that exist on Earth, because without the greenhouse effect, the planet Earth would be much older, less than -18 degrees Celsius. So the entire surface of the Earth will be covered by a layer of ice. With every temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, the Earth is actually 33 degrees Celsius warmer by greenhouse effect. However, if these gases are already in excess in the atmosphere, then the opposite will happen and lead to global warming. Global warming has led to a number of consequences that detrimental to both the environment and every aspect of human life. Some of them are as follows. Number 1. Melting of ice sheet at the North and South Poles. This incident resulted in rising sea levels globally. This can result in a number of small islands are sinking. Number 2. Increasing intensity of extreme weather phenomena. Climate change make the season unpredictable. Farmers cannot predict forecast the growing season due to the uncertain season. And number 3, animal habitat change due to changes in temperature, humidity, and temperature factor primary productivity, so that a number of animals migrate to find a suitable new habitat. So now here are some ways to minimize the impact of global warming. Number 1, environmental conservation by planting trees and reforestation in critical lands. And number 2, using energy sourced from alternative energy to reduce use of fossil fuel energy like petroleum and coal. Number 3, recycling and energy efficiency. And number 4, changing mindsets, attitudes, and ethics toward the environment. Global warming not only has a negative effect on the Earth, but also has benefits for life on Earth. The benefit is when sunlight hits the atmosphere and Earth's surface, about 70% of the energy remains on the Earth is absorbed by the soil, oceans, plants, and other objects. 30% the rest is reflected back through the cloud, rain, as well as other reflective surfaces. But the hit 70% is not always on Earth, because if so, then one day our Earth will become fireball. Objects around the planet that absorb sunlight often radiate the heat it absorbs back. Partly hot is goes into space, stays there, and will be reflected back below the surface Earth when it hits a substance in the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide, methane gas, and water vapor. All that is what keeps the Earth's surface warmer than in outer space because of energy more abstract than which is reflected back. So, what will happen if our Earth is without greenhouse effect? Then the Earth will be like the planet Mars. Mars doesn't have an atmosphere thick enough to retain the sun's heat. It's very cold, so it's not possible to live. So that was my resume of global warming. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.